Hey guys, today I'm here with Daniel Inskeep. He is a very successful YouTuber. He comes from a channel called Mango Street with 1 million subscribers, but I found him through his spin-off channel, which is just self-titled Daniel Inskeep. But he's a very successful, well, for one YouTuber, he's an incredibly good video editor. And based on what I saw in your videos, you're also successful as a photographer and a musician. So thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for the kind words.
Yeah, I mean, what I love about your channel and your approach to YouTube and passive income in general, which is the main topic that you talk about on your channel, is the transparency. And that's really what I aimed to bring to YouTube when I first started out and had no clue if this was going to stick and if it was going to work and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that the transparency thing is kind of one of the things that's maybe lacking from this niche of YouTubers. Is it kind of seems like everyone has an ulterior motive, and I was like, I feel like I could do this without really an ulterior motive. It's just because I think it's fun and just explore different avenues and talk about real ways, actual ways that real people can make money.
Yeah, man. The print on demand video you did was the one that YouTube slipped into my recommended or the homepage. And I'm an avid YouTube watcher. So of course I clicked it, and man, the top comment on that video basically is just dude, how did you make such a value-packed video so over the top? You basically condensed starting from scratch print on demand through Shopify into 16 minutes. How did you do that?
Yeah, that was that was a fun project, and it was, I think I started it in maybe May or something. And I really I actually spent entire weekend working on the designs, and then spent an entire day figuring out Shopify, and then the web, just the website, everything. It just, I really spent a lot of time on it, and then I put the ads together, and I was figuring out the ad strategy, and then when it ran, and spoiler alert, it wasn't massively successful. Then I was like, well, I don't know, what should I do with it? Should I just finish the video there and be well, I didn't make money. Oh well, obviously I could do some things better, or should I try spending more money and whatever. And then I was like, you know what, this is I spent a reasonable amount of money that most people might have to put towards an online venture. And I was like, let's just call it quits here. This is what happened. That's it. And then I'm sure there's people who are print on demand experts that could give me advice in the comments, and I could always try it again, implementing some advice and just trying it again a different way. And then, that way they kind of see the process, because usually you're not just going to start right out of the gate with a successful online venture. And I definitely know that firsthand. I've been failing many times throughout my life, really. So
dude, well, you're definitely a great video, like I said, video editor / YouTuber, man, because I'm loving the videos, and it's making me rethink my whole process because I want to level up the quality of my videos. But
I appreciate that. Yeah, I started as a video editor in 2012, just editing really corporate, boring stuff in Chicago. And it was a good job, and I learned a lot, but I didn't really want to stay put in that in that industry necessarily, and just take my skills to something a little different.
Yeah, I have a similar backstory. I think it was 2012 when I got my first job as my first real job as a web developer, and I held that through earlier this year, February. It was great money, and it was, no complaints. I fell in love with web development, so it was what I wanted to do. But then the idea of, just being on someone else's schedule, hey, show up here at this time, stay for this long. We're going to predetermine your value no matter how good you are. And, it got old after a while. So
it does leave something to be desired for more entrepreneurial types. The stability of it is great. The last full-time job I had was awesome, honestly. It was I even had this YouTube channel, Mango Street, going, and but I was still working full-time because the job was great, and the benefits were nice, the pay was good. But it does cap your potential a little bit, and I'm never going to work harder for myself. I'm never going to work harder for anyone else as I would for myself, even though I feel like I do have a strong work ethic, and I always want to be as unfireable of an employee as possible. But at the end of the day, I think I really just want to work for myself.
Yeah, man, I can relate. And it was easier for me to make the decision when I think I cared more about the business I worked for than the CEO actually did.
Well, there's your sign.
Yeah, he didn't have like a good he didn't, like, put it this way, like he didn't understand the fundamentals of the business.
Oh,
Like things
well,
would be like screaming like don't do this, but he just liked feeling like a CEO. And I mean the business is successful to this day, so I mean I'm not trying to knock him. Like he's doing more in revenue than I am right now. But I don't know, funny quick story that, without going into too much detail, like literally the month 30 days after I quit my job, due to like a lot of good stock market trades, like options trading, which I know a lot of people have been doing this year. You should do a video on that if you haven't.
I have.
You have? Okay, I got to catch that one. Like in 30 days of quitting my job, I made my annual salary from like being self-employed, mainly because of the options trading. But
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was like definitely like just that month, but it was crazy, you know. And I've dabbled since then, but nothing like similar.
I'm about the same experience this year with options trading. Had a really nice March. February and March was great. And it's been less great since, but you know, still get some good wins every once in a while.
Yeah, same. I've studied a lot more, and I've done a lot of diversification now too with like my holdings, trying to be more practical about the long term.
Yeah, that's probably a good move.
Yeah, we should talk about that off camera. But I was gonna say, back to the Shopify print on demand stuff. So one of the most popular videos I dropped in the last like 30 to 40 days was I just heard this story of a Instagrammer with almost 3 million subscribers, and she tried to launch a clothing brand. And like in my mind, because what I teach on my channel as far as print on demand goes, like my print on demand content does really well, is I talk like I try to be practical in my approach. So I say like kind of, you know, occupy internet real estate on the platforms that people already know and trust, like Amazon and Etsy. And, you know, if you can carve out a little space there and you can level up your account, you know, more reviews, etc., you can expect to make more money over time. And I talk people away from doing the approach that you took with Shopify, not because you can't be successful, but because like kind of like what you experienced, you become more of a marketer because your shirts were great. The niche in my mind was great. It's the marketing. You have to become an expert marketer. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with that advice. Is just maybe start it somewhere else where you don't have all the overhead. You don't have to worry so much about developing a brand, and you can just, you know, if you're a graphic designer and you want to do print on demand, focus on graphic design. That's your, you know, your core competency. And I really, marketing is one of the things that I'm like, I don't really like it. Like I've accepted it as part of being a so-called creative and, you know, trying to do with your own business. But it's like, it doesn't really excite me. And I kind of just want to like hire someone else to do it. Like, I don't really want to worry about it. I don't like feeling salesy. I would also recommend, but I kind of didn't want to do like just uploading to Redbubble and Society 6 or whatever, Amazon, or, you know, I kind of wanted to be like, all right, let me just really go all out, figure out, get a domain, you know, figure out Shopify, do all these things. And I think it's a fun experiment. And I think people can kind of see that side of it more and watch me fail through it. And I think that's great.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. The transparency. And again, like the way that you edited it down to like a very watchable video, you know, instead of it being, because there's 4-hour videos on the stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, with our whole thing with Mango Street was photography tutorials that don't waste your time. And so most of our videos were under 5-6 minutes. And I'm trying to find like the happy medium with this channel. And I thought when I was editing this print on demand video, I was like, oh man, it's like 14, that's so long. And, you know, I was like, are people going to get bored? You know, should I cut out some parts of me blabbing? I don't know. But I also thought it was like actually useful to hear me blab about certain things that people might get good takeaways from. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you thought it was a good watchable length, then maybe I found the right happy medium there.
Yeah. And I'm also like probably an outlier. Like I watch probably, if I checked my stats right now, which I could definitely show to everybody, it's at least 8 hours a day on YouTube alone. Cause I have YouTube Premium and I just stream the audio if I'm not watching. So it's kind of, I'm like way overboard, but so it spoke to me.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, I was going to say, man, so I saw your channel. I didn't know if you'd take the interview, honestly, between having like 1 million subscribers on one, which I'm sure keeps you busy. And then it said like the anti-guru. And I love that, you know, like, even though at face value, I think I might be seen as somebody who's just copy pasting the guru funnel strategy. But Like the whole reason I'm on YouTube was that I saw people out there doing the guru thing. And man, you can see right through it when people are full of shit. And like, and that's what just motivated me from start to finish. And also like, I mean, I'm a web development teacher. So I also brought the teaching aspect already, and I figured I could do it online. So
yeah, I think that's key. And just knowing that you can bring something to the table, and, you know, that's, you know, I never really watched, videos and kind of the online business, personal finance niche on YouTube until I was about ready to start a channel on it. And I was like, all right, let's see what's out there. And even if it's like a channel I like and they do a video that I think is good, you know, if they are doing a video on something that they also, you know, like if they're trying to make money, maybe a certain goal target, and they'll do it using a way like drop shipping or something. And it's like, you know, I did it with drop shipping because I got a course on it and I'm so good at it.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, well, it's like, I don't know. It's like me trying to make money, like going out and taking photos. Like that's what I do. It feels a little different. Like the average person can't really just do what you do. So I was like, well, I don't make money with print on demand right now. I don't do drop shipping or any of these other niches, sub niches. So I was like, I'll see if I can figure it out, because I'm kind of coming from it from a non-expert background, I guess.
Right. There's another channel called Cupcake Trainings, which is in our space, and she kind of does a similar thing where she'll just try to be as transparent as possible about starting like the most recent video I watched on her channel, and she's at about 100K subscribers now. Like her channel's been doing really well this year, and she did like an eBay dropshipping course, and she'll just give a clean review. Like if she likes it, she'll tell the audience, and if she hates it, she'll tell the audience. And that sort of thing people seem to really like.
Yeah, I actually did. Have you seen those stupid ads for like stock? It's like True Trader, and it's like this one guy always talking to the camera. He runs ads like crazy.
Really? So, I have YouTube Premium, so I never see any ads.
It's like he's like the most notoriously obnoxious stock guru guy. So I signed up for it, and I was like, I'll make a video about it.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not sure if I'm going to end up doing a video about it or not. But I was like, well, I think it'd be interesting for people to know if this is
even if it's like 3 minutes, throw it up, because I'd love to watch it.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Yeah. For me, man, like I feel like I have to like explain myself to you because the anti-guru thing, and also just anybody that's watching this would love for people to just understand like the whole point of me starting my channel was always to bring more authenticity to the space the way that you are. Like I feel like we're trying to do the same thing, but I do sell courses. But at the same time, like when I did this, by the way, I was working 2 jobs, so it's not like I needed that money, but I saw the demand. Like I saw that I could actually help people, and it's much better if you're taking a course from someone like me that has 6 years teaching credentials at the college level. Plus, like I'm like very explicit and clear in telling you what I'm going to deliver up front, which is like, I publish income reports on the first day of each month, so you can actually see my climb fully transparent from 3.5 years ago to today. And then all I promise is like, hey, if you join the course, it's going to show you exactly what I do, how I do it, nothing more, nothing less, you know?
Yeah. And to be clear, there's nothing wrong with selling courses. Like, over at Mango Street, we have a photography course. So it's like, I'm not like anti-course or anything. But just sometimes there's just certain traits, I guess, that some like gurus have where they're not really providing value, and they're obviously just in it for the money. And then it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it ends up screwing some people over. So as long as you can provide value and it's like fair, like, nothing wrong with making money, providing value to people. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's for sure like the really good, they're just marketers, really. We call them gurus. They're just marketers, and they know all the psychological triggers to get you excited and to get you to open your wallet. And regardless of what happens after that, they do not care. They've got a support team that's going to make it as hard as possible to get your money back. And it's a plague right now on YouTube.
Yeah, that's funny, man. They once you learn some marketing principles, you see it in action. And what I hate though is when I know it's working on me. I'm like, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and I get like, I'm like, it still works though. Dang it.
Yeah, it is funny, man. do you want to just talk briefly? Like, let's talk about some of the other videos on your channel that are definitely, as far as like I've seen in our space, new. Like you did a video about, I forget what the website's called. I know I've heard of it before, but betting on like the presidential election and other, is it just politics that you bet on that site?
Yeah, so that site is Predicted, and they let you bet, and it's like legal in the U.S. Usually, it's like kind of you're like, oh, you can't bet on politics, but they abide by certain rules. So it is all political events of some kind, usually election based. So yeah, I did a video where I bet on the U.S. presidential election, and you can bet on, is there going to be a female vice president in 2021 or elected in 2020?
Yeah.
And so it's just all these different things like, is Michelle Obama going to run for president? And people will say, yes, she is, and actually put money on it right now, you know? So it's like, it's really interesting. And I think the whole point of the site is, it was to see if the prediction markets, if they're more accurate than polling. So I'm not really sure if that's 100%,
that's,
you know,
an interesting spin.
Yeah. So it's like, well, put your money where your mouth is if you think X is going to be president or whatever. So
yeah,
that was an interesting video. And I'm looking forward to seeing the results for many reasons. But I put about $1,000 on, mostly on Biden winning. You can bet 850 on any one contract, they call them. So any one prediction market, you can bet up to $850 on.
And that was probably the most interesting takeaway from that video specifically that I had, was that like they're preventing manipulation via the whales. And as a result of that, I just wonder, because you said they take 5%, or what was it? 5% when you withdraw 10% from your winnings. So they're already making good money, but how much money are they making on the back end? Like just through like giving people like read access to their database that are trying to predict, like, you know, tie things like who's betting on Trump from what state, you know, or like what are their demographics? Because, you know, they're drilling down into all those things.
Yeah. And I think it's owned by a university in New Zealand or something.
Cambridge Analytica. Wouldn't that be funny?
For all we know. So, you know, they're definitely making a profit, because I think it's actually an LLC under, and, you know, I think, you know, but I think it's coming from like a institutionally educational background or whatever, but who knows really.
That's interesting. And then also you did one on making money on Fiverr. Do you want to talk about that?
That was a bit of a doozy, honestly. I didn't want to do it, but I thought it'd be helpful. And honestly, and people are on YouTube in general have been like kind of obsessed with Fiverr type videos. So I was like, all right, like in the photography or video space, it'll be like, I paid someone on Fiverr to edit this commercial or whatever, and like it gets like 10 million views or whatever. Like people love that stuff. So I was like, well, all right, let's see. I mean, I tried Fiverr out in 2000 whatever, like way back when. I tried making money on Fiverr, and it was
when things were $5.
When things were actually $5, and it wasn't awesome, you know, like, you know. So I was like, well, let's see what it's like now, and they're so oversaturated. So I'm like, I don't think this is really going to work out. But I mean, you know, it took me a few weeks, but then started rolling in, and Fiverr made me what do they call it? A preferred gig?
Seller or something.
Preferred seller or something. Like I got a new some badge or whatever, which was really cool, because that kind of helped me in the search rankings. And so that was like an interesting experiment. And then when it was like at the end of the month, like I'm still getting messages about gigs, and like this one guy is like a repeat customer. And eventually I'd just be like, you know, I don't want to do it. Like it's work that maybe I would have done a few years ago, but at this point in my life, I got way too many other things going on that are a little bit, you know, more valuable for my time. But I thought about it would be interesting to do a second month on Fiverr, but that was just going to be such a commitment that I don't think I had the bandwidth for it. But it was fun.
Price.
What's that?
But if you offset the price and just like made it twice as much and see if you can get any sales and more,
honestly, that would be interesting. But yeah, you know, Fiverr, you kind of notoriously are scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of clients. And no offense to anyone who buys stuff on Fiverr. I bought stuff on Fiverr, but you know, you're probably going there looking for a bargain. So if you're a freelancer, that's kind of what you have to expect.
Agreed. Yeah, I've considered like doing the selling on Fiverr thing, but I realized it's so much easier to just buy on Fiverr and then show people what you got. You know, I've done it for times.
Yeah, and I mean, Fiverr taking 10% or no 20% is brutal.
Dude, like check their stock price though; it's reflected. They're doing really well. So
yeah. I mean, if you think about all the millions of people on there, and they're getting a chunky cut, just having that So yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I guess in closing, man, like any do you want to plug any upcoming videos that people can look forward to that aren't subscribed to your channel? And then any like thoughts on like what's going to work in the near future as far as like making passive income? You talk on a monthly basis. So let's keep it like kind of scoped to monthly in the future.
Yeah. So I've got a lot of, I always have so many different projects in the works for this channel, and some of them were long term. So I'll start them many, many months ago and then kind of see how they grow. So I kind of dive into different topics. One is trading stock options. And then I also am going to try to get a Peloton bike for free, which should be cool. And let's see what else I got going on. Honestly, just like I'm always open to people telling me what I should do next. Like any avenue online that's legal that you can make money on. And I'm going to do a Instacart. I'm going to try doing Instacart, which I've done in the past before too. So I'm going to try it again now and see if it's still a decent way to make some money. I'm going to work it.
Dude, my girlfriend has the worst time with Instacart. I'm just
buying
saying,
or working for?
Buying, because it's like we never get there's always at least one thing off. And it's always like what she wants most, it seems.
Yeah, that's happened to us before too. It's but as a former shopper, I can say we try our best. Well, some do. Yeah. So, any avenue, I try to focus online. And Instacart, since using an app, I'm counting that as online. But yeah, and for passive income, I love finding ways to make money, especially like people who may be out of work right now. Even even our own videographer from Mango Street, I'm like, well, let me think of some ways you can make passive income, because we can't do the shoots like we used to do, So I'm always trying to think of ways for me and for other people. And especially for creatives, like if you're a photographer, or a filmmaker, or a musician, I've kind of covered some ways where you can actually make really good money. And so I never thought I could make much money from music, but now I'm making over $2,000 a month just from music, which to me is ridiculous.
I saw that, man.
I don't even really believe myself, so
I can't imagine that's easy. So I didn't listen to your music, but I'm assuming it's good, because that can't be easy.
I don't really, I'm not even, I'm making it for people to put in videos. So I'm not like, is this artistically, whatever. I'm not trying to really make much of an artistic statement. It's really just a creative outlet for me, and also passive income generating. So it's working, which I'm happy for. So.
Yeah, man. And I do another thing. I mean, not to keep coming back to it, but your videos are so good. And I'm like taking mental notes as I'm like watching all of them. Like, okay, the music, the transitions, everything, dude. Like,
well, I appreciate it. We're 200 something videos deep on Mango Street, and I've been, we have some editors every once in a while we'll throw a project to, but otherwise, me and my wife Rachel are just behind the computer. So, it's just been a lot of YouTube video, just trying to make each one better. And even with my own videos, people are like, your audio is too noisy. And so then, I'm always trying to like make it better. I'm always trying to, even 3.5 years into YouTube, you can always improve. And I'm always trying to make things better. So
I hear you, man. I just dropped I thought this mic was like a couple $100, but once it was all said and done, I got the Electro Voice like 320 RE320, and it was like $500 or $600 when it was all said and done. But it's one of those things, like the earlier you spend the money, the more value you get. So
yeah,
went for it.
Exactly.
But dude, thank you for this interview. And I had one last question I had to ask.
Yeah.
So do you do everything on a MacBook with the trackpad, or is that just like you in the videos?
That is just me in the videos.
Okay.
I have an iMac Pro downstairs. This is my upstairs studio, and so I kind of leave this laptop here, and use it when I need to, or just out of convenience. But I'm not a laptop guy, really. Like, I love sitting down with a full keyboard with the number pad, the mouse.
Right.
So yeah, most of my work is actually downstairs. But like for Mango Street and stuff, I'll haul the iMac up here, set it on this table, move this table to our other set, which is behind or in front of me, and I'll work on that too. So whatever gets the job done, really.
I love the work, man. And like, yeah, me and my girlfriend, I'm getting her into YouTube too. So we're years behind you guys, but yeah, it's inspirational to see like you guys as a couple being so successful and creating such great work.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, YouTube is I had no idea going into it what it was gonna be. You know, I was like, I don't even ever watch YouTube aside from video Copilot tutorials. So like I didn't even know what to expect. And we just uploaded one Monday and I haven't really stopped since. And that was in 2017. So
Nice, man. Well, anyways, thank you again for being here. He's Daniel Inskeep. I'm Ryan Hogue. Show him some love. I've got a link to his channel right here at the top of the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.